Chapter 454, Hidden Honorific Name. Franca had long harbored the desire to uncover the nature of the item that Gardner Martin had smuggled into Trier through Rat Christo. However, in the months that had passed, Gardner Martin had acted as if the incident had never occurred, and nothing of note had appeared around him. From the looks of it, the demoness sect attaches significant importance to that item. That's right. Given that this item had triggered the strange mirror world, it is highly likely that it was linked to the powers of the assassin and hunter pathways. Franca took a moment to consider and then admitted, "I know what you're referring to." She explained to Brown's Sauron in the same manner they had explained the situation to Rat Christo in the past. In essence, she shared everything except the fact that she and Lumion had been drawn into a mirror world. Instead, they relied on Lumion's unique ability to escape and how she obtained a classic silver mirror that led them to the mirror world. According to the Rat, his brother and many of his subordinates turned into monsters, including the reversal of their left and right hands. This attracted the Purifier's attention, were eliminated. Franca deliberately elaborated, probing Brown's Sauron gauge her reaction to the appearance of the mirror people. Brown's displayed a slight furrow of her brow. How did the official Beyonders become aware that something was amiss? She seems to know about the mirror people and their specific traits. Franca looked away and shook her head. For that question, you'd need to approach a purifier, not me. Without further discussion, Browns led Franca to a circular pavilion enclosed by grapevines and various vines. Seated in the circular pavilion was a woman donned in a black court dress. Her bright dark gray eyes held a touch of sadness, and her neatly tied black hair featured a few loose strands, which cascaded naturally and added a hint of allure to her otherwise composed countenance. Upon catching sight of the woman's slightly curved red lips, graceful jawline, and soft facial features, Franca was initially struck by the overwhelming beauty that met her gaze. However, her astonishment was quickly overshadowed by an unexplainable sense of sympathy. Although she was taken aback and touched by a sense of heartache, it took nearly 10 seconds for Franca to remember encountering this woman before. She had seen her during her and Lumion's surveillance of the fake Teresa, Beatrice in court, at the concert. As the most beautiful woman in attendance, she had been invited on stage to take a photograph with the orchestra as a keepsake. Is she Browns's teacher, a high-ranking demoness? It's no surprise, having a high-ranking demoness overseeing the operation and ensuring its success. Franca was momentarily surprised, but soon realized that this situation was in line with what she had anticipated. What she hadn't expected was that this woman had openly followed them and even participated in a photograph on stage. Brown's Sauron introduced her teacher, saying, "This is my teacher, Demoness of Black Claris." Demoness of Black, according to Madam Judgment, demonesses with a color in their title are considered exceptional even among the demigods of the demoness sect. Some are even suspected of being angels. Franca placed her hand over her chest and offered a slight bow. In a polite and gentlemanly manner, she said, "It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Demoness of Black." Franca avoided complimenting the woman's appearance. She understood that most demonesses in the demoness sect took pride in their beauty while simultaneously harboring inner conflict regarding it. Compliments from outsiders were typically accepted with grace, potentially leading to some embarrassment. However, if Franca, who knew their true gender, were to offer such compliments, it might be perceived as provocation or mockery. Demoness of Black Claris nodded slightly and said, "Every member needs to believe in the primordial one. You should have known about this more than a month ago. It's time to officially pray to her." Franca was not surprised at all. Secret organizations that worshipped evil deities typically required new members to open themselves to their deity, thus gaining a measure of control and filtering out most insecurities. Lately, when visiting Brown's, Franca had followed Madam Judgment's instructions, conducting a preliminary ritual that sought the protection of an angel from Mr. Fool. "We are all the children of the primordial one," Franca responded devoutly and respectfully, adhering to Browns's guidance during this period. Claris's expression grew solemn, and her eyes were filled with admiration. "Recite the honorific name of the primordial one with me in Hermes." The source of all catastrophes, the symbol of destruction and the apocalypse, the demoness who controls chaos. Although the demoness of black spoke in Intision, the surroundings darkened significantly. The grapevines writhed gently, as though transforming into venomous snakes. Franca remained composed and repeated the three-lined honorific name in Hermes. Suddenly, she saw grapevines extending towards her. They grew thicker and thicker, completely enveloping the circular pavilion. One of the python-like vines extended toward Franca, and a dark blue vertical eye opened at its tip. It reflected Franca's figure. The figure rapidly distorted, transforming into a man with a bloodied face. The man had short flaxen-colored hair, slightly thick brown eyebrows, and lake blue eyes. His lips were thin, and his appearance was ordinary. Franca was taken aback. This face was familiar to her. It was the face she saw in the mirror every day before consuming the witch potion. This was her past self, Franco Roland. In the deep blue vertical eye, Franco Roland's expression turned ferocious. His eyes held a tangible hatred, and his face was filled with a viciousness that could cause nightmares. Franca's body stiffened, as if she had turned into a statue made of rock. After staring at her for a few seconds, the vine with the blue vertical eye retracted into the canopy of grapevines, its eyes reflecting its unhappiness. Franca finally felt her body. She blinked and saw that everything around the circular pavilion was normal. Sunlight pierced through the gaps between the vines and shone here. There were no python-like vines, nor were there any blue vertical eyes. It was as if the bizarre and nightmarish encounter had never happened. All of it appeared to be a fleeting, surreal vision. She lowered her head and completed her prayer. As Franca continued her rituals, she couldn't shake the eerie experience from her mind. The connection between the primordial demoness and the underground mirror world was undeniable. She had encountered her past self, Franco Roland, in the mirror world as well. This time, it wasn't Franca reflected in the blue vertical eye either. It was Franca's former appearance, Franco Roland. Demoness mirror magic and mysticism's mirror world seemed to hold many secrets. What Madame Judgment told me isn't everything. With this realization, Franca raised her head and opened her eyes to look at the demoness of black Clarice and brown Sauron beside her. Clarice, with a black veiled hat on her head, nodded. "Now, you're a child of the primordial one. Thank you for your guidance." Franca smiled and inquired, "I thought the honorific name for the primordial one would include a description akin to the ruler of the mirror world. I'm surprised it's not part of it." The demoness of black, Clarice, replied in a cold, indifferent, yet pitiful tone, "This isn't the complete honorific name of the primordial one. There are 2 more lines you can't know right now." The primordial demoness has 2 hidden lines for her honorific name. Franca suddenly felt that this detail revealed something, but she was uncertain about its significance. Clarice continued, "Every new member receives a primordial one statue. It possesses anti-divination and early warning abilities, and it can assist you in performing rituals. You must pray to it every day." While speaking, she produced a bone statue, the palm-sized statue vaguely resembling a beautiful woman with hair that reached her ankles. Each strand of hair was intricately carved with distinct, snake-like eyes, some open and others tightly shut, densely packed and unsettling. Praying every day, Franca hesitated, deciding to be patronizing on this matter. After Franca stowed away the primordial demoness statue, Clarice's brow furrowed imperceptibly. "Keep a close watch on the Iron and Blood Cross Order, especially Gardner Martin. If they make any unusual moves, contact Browns immediately. If the situation becomes critical, retrieve the primordial one statue, set up the altar, and perform the designated ritual. After completion, place the prepared letter into the mirror on the altar. Keep a close watch, unusual moves." Franca extracted the key points from the demoness of Black's instructions. She sensed an impending catastrophe and couldn't help but grow anxious. Does the demoness sect believe that the Iron and Blood Cross Order is on the brink of launching a major operation? In Cartier 2, outside the Trier Art Center, Lumion stood on the steps, contemplating the author's responses that flashed through his mind. Gabriel has been enjoying art exhibitions and galleries for the past month or so. He doesn't pay much attention to each painting. It's as if he's searching for the one his soul has been waiting for. There's nothing unusual about him. He didn't fixate on any other visitors at the exhibition. The information revealed by these answers left Lumian puzzled about his next steps. Nonetheless, he had decided to visit the Trier Art Center to explore the art exhibition titled Future Impressions. It was scheduled to end in another 2 days. Before arriving, Lumian had secured a hotel and a room for setting up a ritual. He summoned a messenger and informed Madame Magician about Gabriel's encounter and the direction of his investigation. Initially, he had planned to relay the message from the bar's washroom, but he recalled that the doll messenger had severe mysophobia and obsessive-compulsive disorder. Consequently, he opted to spend a bit of money to find a clean and suitable place. As he gazed at the colorful art center with its sun-like roof, Lumian took a slow breath and presented his ticket to enter the building. Future Impressions wasn't a large art exhibition, occupying only 3 exhibition halls. Lumian strolled through, admiring the artworks displayed on the walls. Suddenly, he spotted a familiar figure.